The following is a class on the Bhagavad-gītā As It Is, 4th chapter, text 13 and 14, given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded in July 1966 in New York.
Maya system, guna karma vibhagata, tasya kartaramapi mang vidhi apakaram abhayam. This verse was being discussed in our last meeting, that there are 4 divisions of men in the human society, and that division is natural. That is not artificial, because the whole material nature is working under the influence of 3 modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. You cannot classify the whole human race into one. So long we are in the material world, it is not possible to make everyone on the same standard. It is not possible, because each and every one is working under the influence of different modes of nature. Therefore there must be division, natural division. This point we have discussed. But when we transcend this material plane, then there is oneness. There is no more division. So how to transcend? That transcendental nature is Krishna consciousness. As soon as we become fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, we are transcendental to these material modes of nature. Man chabhyadicārena bhakti yogena jasevate sagunan samatipaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. You'll find in the Bhagavad-gītā, the 14th chapter. Anyone who is fully engaged in the Krishna consciousness activity, he is at once in the transcendental position, brahma bhuyaya kalpate. We are, by nature, we are not matter, we are Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. The propaganda of Shankaracharya was mainly based on this understanding that we should not think that we are the products of this material nature. We are not products of material nature. It is by some accident, by freaks of nature, by misfortune, somewhere or other, we are now in contact with it. But actually, I am Spirit, Brahma. So that Brahma nature has to be invoked, has to be, we are actually just like a diseased person. He has to be brought into the healthy condition of life to cure the disease. So just a man, when he is diseased and when he is healthy, from external features of the same. Just like I am now healthy. So my external feature, I have got 2 hands and 2 legs and the face and so many things. The same body, when I am in the disease condition, you will find the same hands, the same legs and mouth and everything, but the condition is different. I'll speak something nonsense because the condition has changed in the disease condition. Similarly, in our disease condition. This material life is our disease condition. So when we are in the healthy condition, that is called Brahma. That is called Brahma condition. So that Brahma condition can at once be regained as soon as we engage ourselves fully, 10% in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That is clearly mentioned in the Bhagavad-gītā, in the 14th chapter you will find. Manta ja abhyavicārena bhakti yogena sevate. Anyone who renders his transcendental loving service unto me, sa gunan samatitta eta, that person immediately transcends the modes of material nature. Samatitta, sama, sammak atitya, perfectly transcending, samatitta. Then transcending the material nature, then he becomes zero? No, that is his real nature. Now, the philosophy which preaches that after our liberation, after Nibbana of this material existence, there is zero. Oh, that is very dangerous theory. Because we are not attracted by zero. That is our nature, living entity. Now suppose I am suffering from some disease and there are so many ailments, and if some doctor comes, oh, let me finish your ailment by killing you. Oh, will you agree? He'll say, no, better let me suffer from this disease. I don't want to be killed. Is it not? Will you agree? Suppose you have got too much suffering miseries of life, and I suggest, all right, let me cut your throat and kill you, and everything will be finished. Oh, no, I am not agreeing to that. That is the same man's statement. Oh, I am not going to be killed for ending my misery. That is the nature. So the theory that after making end of all these material miseries, there is nothing void, that is not attractive. That is not attractive at all, and that is not the fact. Real fact is that I am Satchidananda Vigraha, part and parcel of the Supreme. The Supreme Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha, and I am qualitatively one with Him. I am also, although I am small, just like a particle of the sea water, that is also salty. That is also salty. The taste of a small drop of sea water is the same as the taste of the big portion of the Atlantic Ocean. So the quality is the same. Similarly, I may be small, I may be a spiritual atom. My position is that I am spiritual atom, and the Supreme Spirit is all the greatest. But that does not mean I am different from the quality. I am of the same quality. So, I am not void. Na hannate hannamane sarire. If by frustration one commits suicide, that is not the end of his misery. He creates another misery. He creates another misery by committing suicide. Just like here, in the state law, if somebody attempts suicide and takes some poison, and if by treatment of the physician he is all right, he is again under the law to be punished. Perhaps not. After curing him from that poisonous effect, is under criminal code of the state. Why you have attempted suicide? Similarly, in the laws of nature, if you commit suicide, that is another criminal act. The suicidal policy to end this miserable life is not all. We must have, greater life. In the Bhagavad-gītā I have read, already I have discussed. Parang drishtya nivartate. One has to end this miserable life after finding out a life of bliss and knowledge and eternity. That should be our aim. We should not be trying only to end these miseries of life, expecting something void. Oh, no. Therefore Lord Krishna, this Chaturvarna Maya system, these divisions of human society is created by the law, because to elevate ourselves from the classes of this deluding Maya or illusion. So, just like one has to be educated from the lower class to the postgraduate class, similarly, this division of labor is there just to elevate one from the lowest stage of consciousness to the highest stage of Krishna consciousness. So, that is a cooperation. That is a cooperation. Just like my body, there are different parts of my body. The head is the most important part of my body. The next important part is my arms. The next important part is my belly. And the next important part is my legs. But although the head is the most important part of my body, there is no question of neglecting the lowest part of my body, the leg. Similarly, although there are divisions in the human society, 4 divisions according to the different modes of nature, the highest class is called the Brahmin, or the most intellectual class. And the next class is called the Kshatriya. There's the administrative class. And the next is the Vaishyas, or the mercantile, productive class. And the next is the Shudras, or the laborer class. So all of them, they are required. But if they cooperate for Krishna consciousness, so there is no strife between these higher and lower classes. We find in the present social status of our life, we are actually existing in 4 divisions, but there is no cooperation. Practically, everyone dissatisfied. Take for example, the strife between the capitalist class and the laborer class. They are trying in different ways. There is no compromise. There is always friction, and especially in a country like India, there is always friction, and other countries also. So they are not satisfied. Recently also, in your country also, there was strife by the bus drivers and the subway drivers and administration. So there is always strife. What? This is due to lack of Krishna consciousness. This is due to lack of Krishna consciousness. There cannot be any cooperation unless there is Krishna consciousness. The Krishna consciousness is an essential fact for harmonizing in the present material society. That is required. Krishna consciousness is so important thing. Cooperation. The same example can be set here also, that the leg, the hand, and the belly, and the mouth, what they are? They are cooperating. Cooperating for what? Cooperating for maintaining this body. This is the common interest. And how it is cooperated? To supply everything to the stomach. The brain is working, earning some money, the hand is fetching something and cooking, and the mouth is chewing, and the leg is going, but the whole function is targeted to fulfill the demands of the stomach. If these parts of the body non-cooperate with the stomach, they will become feeble and weak, and there will be no capacity to work. Similarly, Krishna consciousness means that, whatever division I may be the Brahmin, I may be the Kshatriya, I may be the Vaishya or the Shudra, that doesn't matter. But if we cooperate for Krishna consciousness, there will be perfect peace in the world. This is a fact. So, this idea of Krishna consciousness is very important factor. Although people they are unknown to this fact, although it is stated in the Bhagavad-gītā, in the world, Bhagavad-gītā is very popular book. They are reading Bhagavad-gītā. And in Dr. Radha Krishna's book, we understand that Bhagavad-gītā has been so important book throughout the whole world that there is a sect in Germany who are called Indo-German religious sect. Perhaps some of you may know. They are acting on the principle of Bhagavad-gītā. So, actually, in the Bhagavad-gītā, the most important part is Krishna consciousness. In every verse, in every chapter, in every conclusion, you will find Krishna, the speaker of Bhagavad-gītā, is giving stress on his personal self. Mam hi partha sutta jiti to mam, this mam. Mam means me, unto me. Krishna says unto me. But there are many miscreants who are interpreting this mam as everyone. As everyone. Just like when I say, I want a glass of water, does it mean that you want a glass of water? No. My individuality, I want a glass of water. But they are making my jugglery words. When I say, I want a glass of water, that means everyone wants a glass of water. Is it a fact? Similarly, when Krishna says, I, they identify with the I themselves. That is their interpretation. That is misinterpretation. Bhagavad-gītā, therefore, although Bhagavad-gītā is very popular in the world, due to this misinterpretation of so many scholars, they have been not properly understood. That is a fact. Bhagavad-gītā explains, very nicely explained, that there is a Chaturvardhanam Maya system, Gunakarma Vibhava. That these divisions of human society into 4 classes, that is established by Krishna, but he is out of it. He is not one of us. He does not belong to this Chaturvardhana. Suppose when Krishna comes in incarnation, in his body, it does not mean that he belongs to either of these classes, either to the Brahmin, just like Krishna appeared himself as the son of Devaki or Vasudeva. Vasudeva was belonging to the royal family, Kshatriya. So Krishna played the part just like a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means administrative class. But that does not mean that Krishna belonged to a Kshatriya class. It is to be understood. There are Dasa avatars. There are many incarnations of Krishna. Just like the first avatar incarnation is called Matsya avatar. Pralaya payadhi jale dhitavan sivedam vihita vahitra charitramapedam kesavadhrita buddha kesavadhrita meena sharira jaya jagadisha hare. Kesava, Krishna, appeared just like a thief. He appeared himself in the thief community. But that does not mean that he was thief. If you think of taking a thief, it is the generation of Krishna. Of course, everything is Krishna from another point of view. So similarly, Krishna, because in the previous verse we have discussed that simply by knowing the transcendental nature of Krishna, one becomes liberated. See, how you can understand Krishna by his transcendental nature? That is being described in this verse. Tasya kartaramapi. Tasya kartaramapi man vidhi. Although I have established these divisions of the human society into 4 classes, so I am not one of them. This has to be understood. But as soon as we make it a mistake that, Krishna, he appeared in the royal family of Vasudeva, so he belonged to the Kshatriya community or the administrative class. No. Then you can understand the transcendental nature of Krishna. And if you have got any doubt, you can ask, you can understand, but as soon as you understand it rightly, you become a liberated person. That is the secret. As soon as you understand the fact as it is, the transcendental nature of Krishna, you step forward to your liberation. So similarly, these things are being described one after another. The next sloka, Namang karmani limpanti, name karma phalestriha, iti mang jo abhijanati, karma bhi nasa bhaggate. That's it. Namang karmani limpanti. Karmani, that's like we are acting something. Anything we are doing, there is some reaction. There is some reaction. In every action there is some reaction. Just like I am speaking here, this vibration is being recorded all over the universe. This sound, the radio message, how it is transmitted in the modern world. Similarly, as I am speaking, so whatever I am doing, that is immediately recorded. And there will be some reaction. Just like the sound vibration is reaction. Who has got some radio machine, there is reacting. Similarly, any action, either good action or bad action, it will have reaction. That is the law of nature. You cannot be free from the reaction of my action. But here Krishna says, Namam karmani limpanti. There is no reaction of the activities of Krishna. Just like Krishna, was commanding over Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and practically he was ordering that you must fight, you must kill the enemy. Now, this act of Krishna has no reaction on him. One should understand it. Namam karmani limpanti. If there is any difficulty to understand, we may consult persons who are in the understanding, we may consult books, we may consult authority, that we can do. Because inquiries are always allowed. But viddhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. And the transcendental inquiry is never forbidden. With sincere purpose, one can make inquiry. But fact is this: if I cannot understand in my present condition, that is my misunderstanding. But the fact is this: that Krishna, when he comes, he is not like any one of us. He is transcendent. Neither any act which he does, it has got reaction. And he says, Name karma phale spriha. I have no desire for any fruitive activities. Just like we want to do something. Suppose I want to do some business. And what is the idea? Because I want to make some profit out of the business, and if there is sufficient profit, I shall be gainer, I shall be rich man, I shall be able to enjoy life, and so on, so many things I have got background. So I have my desire. Whenever I do something, we condition soul. Whenever we do something, there is some desire behind it. And what is the desire? For enjoyment. That's all. But Krishna says, Name karma phale spriha, because he has nothing to desire. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is full with everything. Now sometimes Krishna is misunderstood. That Krishna, in his boyhood, he had so many girlfriends. Perhaps you may know who has gone through Krishna's life. Or in his youthhood, he married 16,000 wives. This is described by Shrimad Bhagavatam. He had 16,108 wives. So, sometimes who does not understand Krishna, they think, Krishna was so sensuous. He kept 16,000 wives. No, that is not the fact. What was the fact? The fact is, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, we have got different relationship with the Supreme Lord. Constitutional, every one of us. The relationship as we experience in this material world, just like you are my brother, or he is my sister, or he is my father, he is my so many relationships we have got. So all these relationships are calculated into 5. Practically there are 12 relationships. 12 relationships are contract against, just like you are my enemy. I want to kill you. You want to kill. That is also one of the relationships. But this is contract. This is not favorable. This is called vibhaksa. Something I see in you, I begin to laugh. Or something you see in me, you begin to laugh. So there are different. So altogether, there are 12 relationships in every activity of our life. Out of that, 5 relationships is very favorable. What is that? Not 5 exactly, but yes, 5. Just like I am sitting here on this diet. So I have got some relationship. What is the relationship? That this diet is giving me service silently. Thus there is relationship. I am comfortably sitting here. So this is one relationship. The next relationship is that one wants to serve me or I want to serve him. Out of love, I want home. Just like some of you, Swamiji, I brought some food for you. This is out of love. That means you want to serve me. So this relationship with the that and that relationship who comes and brings for some food for me, that is higher. That is called dasha or friendship. So the silent relationship, the servitude relationship, the friendly relationship, then paternal relationship, then conjugal relationship. So these relationships which we find here in this material world, they are reflection of the original relationship with Krishna. Because in the Vedanta Sutra you find Janmadhyasya, everything, whichever you find in this material world, that is born from the absolute truth. So in the absolute truth, there is the relationship, these relationships which we are experiencing here. But they are perverted. Perverted because suppose I accept somebody as master and I am serving, and as soon as his salary is stopped, my service is stopped. Therefore it is perverted. Or and there is a girl I love, or there is a man I love, so as soon as there is some misunderstanding, it breaks. So that relationship, that conjugal relationship, that paternal relationship, that friendly relationship, just like you will find in the Bhagavad-gītā, that Krishna and Arjuna, they are in relationship of friendship. Now, when Krishna says that I told this yoga, Bhagavad-gītā yoga, to the sun god, say some millions of years before, and Arjuna, just to represent our interest, he says, Krishna, you are my contemporary. How is that? You spoke Bhagavad-gītā 40 millions of years before to sun god. So Krishna answered that Bahuni me janmani tabachagi. Both you and myself, we are born many times, but you have forgotten. I remember. That is the distinction. Now, here you see that the friendship of Krishna is going on, not in this birth, but perpetually that friendship is there. But in the material world, the friendship exists for few years and then breaks. Therefore it is reflected. It is not real. If you make your friendship with Krishna, that will never break. If you make your master Krishna, you will never be cheated. If you love Krishna as your son, he will never die. Similarly, if you love Krishna as your lover or husband, he will be the best husband, the best lover. There will be no divorce. Very simple. So similarly, there are many, because Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He has unlimited, he is unlimited and he has unlimited number of devotees. Now some of them are trying to love him as lover or husband. Now what Krishna will do? In the previous verse we have read that Je jatharang pravadante tang suthaiva bhajamyaham. Anyone who wants me in some sort of relationship, I accept. I accept that. So the fact is that these wives of Krishna, that is the real fact, in the previous life they made tremendous penance to achieve Krishna as their husband. Just like in the Bhagavad, there is a verse Sukadeva Goswami is describing. These things are very sublime things. Of course, if you kindly hear them attentively, you'll feel sublime pleasure, undoubtedly. In the Bhagavad, when Krishna was playing with boys, just like boys play, Krishna was playing just like a boy. So the Sukadeva Goswami describes that attitude. Ittham satana brahma sukhanubhutya dasam gatanam paradevataya. The purport is that here is a thing. These boys who are playing with Krishna, that for many, many lives they undergone penances to have Krishna as their playmate. Now they are enjoying that. So the playmates of Krishna, they are not ordinary persons. They underwent many, many births, tapasya, penances, just like one has to see the favor of the Supreme Lord by penances, by tapasya. So they desire like that, and Krishna has accepted all that. Come on, let us play. And what is that play? Krishna is playing with the boys, just like boys play. They say next time somebody, one boy is defeated, so when he is defeated, he has to carry the other boy on his shoulder. So many they manufacture playing things. Similarly, sometimes Krishna was being defeated, so he has to carry other boy on his shoulder. These things are being done. Because we have no idea of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we take it as trifling. But Krishna's consciousness is so sublime that all perfection of our desires are there. Whatever we are desiring, whatever desires we have got, constitutionally, all those desires will be perfectly fulfilled when we are in Krishna consciousness. Okay? So Krishna, here he says that name karma phalespriya. Krishna did not require any friend to play with him. Neither Krishna had any desire of having a single wife. We require wife. Why do we take the responsibility of wife? Because we have got some desire to fulfill, that's all. But he is complete himself, Purna. A poor man can desire that, if I would have bank balance, say, $1,000 in the bank, I would have been happy. But a rich man who has got millions of dollars in the bank, does he desire for $100 in the bank? He has no such desire. Similarly, if Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, why he should have desire? For his he is full. Rather, he fulfills others' desire. That is the thing. Man proposes, God disposes. Why God should have desire? Otherwise he is imperfect. So Krishna has, here he says, name karma phalespriya. I have no desire to fulfill, because he is full. Whatever he wants. Prasasati, in the Vedic literature you will find, prasasati vividhaiva suyate, svabhaviki jnana valakshyacha. The Supreme Brahma, he has got different, diverse energies. As soon as he desires, everything is done immediately. If I have to manufacture this stand, I'll have to arrange for so many things. I'll have to go to the brass smith and ask him and give him some money and so many things. But and the Parasasakti, if I got, even a yogi, there is a prapti siddhi. You have heard the name of yoga. The yoga system is not so pleasant as we have got so many branches in America. They are places. Actually, the yoga system is so perfect that they get 8 kinds of perfection before achieving the real perfection. And what is that perfection? The 8 kinds of anima, laghima, siddhi, prapti, isita, vasita, like that. Anima siddhi means when a yogi is not exactly perfect, when he is on the way of perfection, he gets this opportunity. He can become the smallest. If you pack a yogi in a room and lock him, he will come out. He will come out. In Banaras, India, there was a Srila yogi. He was sitting on the street naked. So government took objection. Oh, you are this is upset, you cannot. Oh, I will sit. Then he was put into the custody. So he came out. He was locked. That is not a very old story. It's about 100 years before. So thrice, 4 times he was put in the custody. He came out. So this is the first siddhi, first perfection. Similarly, a yogi also, if he wants, perhaps I cited this story, in my childhood I had my teacher, and he had his spiritual master, a great yogi. So my teacher used to narrate the story of his spiritual master, that one day he went to the spiritual master, and the spiritual master asked him, well, what do you want to eat? And they replied that they want a fresh pomegranate from Afghanistan. All right, see. So in the room they saw a branch of pomegranate just with juices, just like somebody has snatched the branch from the tree and it is there. The yogis, they can perform such wonderful things. If I want this thing, I have to endeavor for it. But a yogi can at once make it. These are some of the preliminary perfections of yogi. So, Krishna is called Yogeshwara. He is the, you'll find in the Bhagavad-gītā, he is described as Yogeshwara. He is the master of all yogic principles. So for him, why there shall be desire for enjoyment? He is so perfect that he hasn't got to marry, he hasn't got to keep a girlfriend. He is so perfect. This is the nature of Krishna, we have to understand. Then why he married? He married just to fulfill the desires of his devotees. Those devotees who wanted Krishna as their husband. So, he accepted. And when he played the part of a husband, he played very perfectly. Just like when he played the part of a friend, of the boy's friend, he played it very perfectly. When he played the part of a small boy, of Jasoda, he played it perfectly. Just like he was creating disturbance when he was, say, 3 years old. Just like children, 2 years, 3 years old, they create all the disturbances, mother. They don't leave the company of mother at the same time, they create disturbance. So Krishna was doing that. Now, the mother decided, no, I shall bind you with rope. You are creating so much disturbance. And she took a stick, and if you create disturbance, then I'll beat it. Krishna began to cry. So there is description in the Bhagavad by Kunti that the person who is the object of frightening for everyone, he was afraid of the stick of Jagat. What? He was perfectly playing the childhood. So this is the Krishna's life. So one has to understand this. He was not mean. Yes, that's exactly the same thing as he said, that name karma phalisya. I have no desire. I know. Why he shall be desire? He is full. Desire, a needy person has desire. But a man who is full, Why shall we desire? Namankṛṣṇa limpanti namikarno iti manjo bhijanati. Now, just I try to explain a little portion of the Krishna's activities when he appears in this world. His whole is activity. Just attract us. So you are frustrated in friendship. Come on, make friendship with me. Oh, you are frustrated in getting a good master. Come on, serve me. I become your good master. Oh, you are frustrated in the love of your sons. Oh, have me as your son. Because here we are frustrated with our sons and daughters. We expect something. But when they are grown up, they go in their own way. We are frustrated. So accept Krishna as son, and he will be most obedient son, just like you are playing the part before Jacob. Similarly, accept Krishna as husband of lover. He will never be frustrated. That is the whole plan. Anything, whatever desires you have got, you can establish and his relationship with Krishna in that desire, and he will be happy. Perfectly happy. Never to be cheated. So, namankṛṣṇa iti manjo bhijanati. Anyone who understands this philosophy, this transcendental nature of Krishna, then what is the result? Karma bhinasa baddhate. Because we are bound up by the reaction of our past deeds. So as soon as we understand the transcendental activities of Krishna, at once we become free from all reaction. Because I cannot understand Krishna's transcendental activities unless I am actually adopted with him. Why I shall be interested with your activities? Unless I have got some specific purpose. So similarly, let us develop this Krishna consciousness, and gradually we shall have, that is called Sarup Siddhi. Now every living entity has got an eternal relationship with Krishna. Because we are part and just like my part and part of the body. It has got a specific relationship with my body. Just like this hand is the part and parcel of my body. It has got a specific position in the body. My ear is the part and parcel of my body. It has got a specific position in this. Similarly, every living entity has got a specific position in relationship with Krishna. Now, at the present moment, we are covered. We do not know what is our relationship. But as we make advance in Krishna consciousness and we develop, I have got this relationship with my Krishna, as a friend, as a conjugal lover, as paternal relationship, master and servant, so many, just like we have got experience. And that is called Sarup Siddhi. Sarup Siddhi means perfection of one's original constitutional position. Sarup Siddhi. That we shall realize. As we make advance in the Krishna consciousness, so we gradually, just like a man with a disease, and as he is being cured by treatment, he gets gradually his healthy condition. He can feel, yes, I am feeling well, and now I am feeling hunger, now I am taking food nicely, yes, I am getting some strength. Similarly, as we make progress in the matter of Krishna consciousness, then our original constitutional position becomes revealed. And as soon as we fully reveal, I am free from all this material obligations. My place is reserved there. Thank you.